So, guys, very good evening. This is Piyush Sir, and I welcome you all to your own channel, which is Geeks for Geeks. Right? A small acknowledgement from your side before starting today's session. If you can tell me if I'm clearly audible to you, just a small acknowledgement from your side. If I'm audible to you, please type hi, hello, yes. Okay. Let me know if I'm audible so that we can begin the session. Ask your friends to connect fast. Thanks, Ashish. Thanks a lot. Because today's session is going to be very, very, very interesting, right? And it is on one of the most hot topic today that is all about startups. So what all things that we need, what all ideas we need to collect and where to go for get the ideas. We would be discussing those, like what all would be the resources. Hi Pulkit. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you very much. So today's topic, all of us know, right, how to get ideas of for the startup, right? Because this is the most challenging thing that we all face, right? We all want to have the startup. We all want to appear in front of sharks, right? In Shark Tank, we want to pitch our ideas, but the problem is from where to get that idea, how to raise those funds, right? This is one big question in everyone's mind. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Never, no one wants to be in jobs, right? Because we are living in this era where where everywhere you will see, right? Everywhere you will see, everyone is talking about having your own startup, building startup, giving employment. Don't be simply employed. Give employment to others, right? We all are talking about these things. Okay. So how many of you are interested, right? How many of you want to know like where to go, where to dig out the ideas for startup? A plus one from your side if you want to know how to get ideas for startup. A plus one from your side, right? So that we can proceed. Okay, great. Okay, so Rahul saying Rahul is very, very, very excited, right? Definitely, we would be looking into things. Ask your friends to connect fast. Ask your entrepreneur friends. ऐसा एक ना एक दोस्त जरूर होगा आपका ना जिसको जो आपकी क्लास में है और उसको शौक है मतलब he is sitting on the last bench but he is having his creativity, right? He is creative enough and he is discussing his ideas with you, right? Ask that friend to connect. Okay. Okay. So, see, I am about to start a session, and when we talk about startups, right? So one thing that comes is one term that you will face everywhere is an entrepreneur, right? Who is an entrepreneur according to you? एक टर्म हम लोगों को समझ में आता है जब भी हम स्टार्टअप्स की बात करते हैं तो हम बात करते हैं entrepreneurs की, राइट? तो व्हाट इज एन entrepreneur अकॉर्डिंग टू यू? एक लाइन में अगर आपको डिफाइन करना एक वर्ड में अगर आपको डिफाइन करना है entrepreneur को, हाउ विल यू डिफाइन द वर्ड entrepreneur in one word? कैसे डिफाइन करोगे आप एंटरप्रेन्योर को? एक वर्ड में अगर आपको डिफाइन करना हो तो लेट अस सी द रिस्पॉन्सेज, राइट? Sound is good, right? Okay. So my question is, how will you define like entrepreneur in one word? एक synonym entrepreneur के लिए आपके पास हो? Explorer, innovator. Okay, that's great. Others, someone who solves a problem and make it easier for the people. Someone who has a vision to do something and can execute it. Great, good definitions. Kirti is saying executor. Okay, Ajay has some problem, right? Am I audible? Am I clearly audible to everyone? Okay, so Mahendra has very good definition, right? Defines a new path. Exactly. Nice definition, Somen. Okay, great, 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 great. Okay, so when we have this term entrepreneur, na, there is some another term which we should also know and we should be aware of. That is uh, entrepreneurs and an entrepreneurs. So there are two terms actually. We all want to be an entrepreneur, but we end up with being a entrepreneur, right? नाउ यू विल सी, जब एक एक चीज एक टर्म हमने सुना है, एक फ्रेज हमने सुना है मार्केट में कि बहुत सारी स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट होती हैं लेकिन 80% 90% स्टार्टअप जो है वो स्टार्ट होने के बाद 6 मंथ्स 1 ईयर के अंदर ही बंद हो जाती है, ठीक है? वी ऑल हैव सीन दिस थिंग्स, राइट? वी ऑल हैव बीन हियरिंग दिस थिंग. The thing is, those who have started those startups were not entrepreneurs. They were entrepreneurs, right? या तो स्टार्ट, मेरे पास एक आइडिया है, आइडिया सबके पास है, राइट? अगर मैं आप इस रूम में बात करूं, जितने भी लोग यहाँ पर कनेक्टेड हैं, राइट, ऑल ऑफ यू हैव सम आइडिया इन योर माइंड. आपकी जानकारी में जितने आपके दोस्त हैं, रिलेटिव्स हैं, बड़े भाई हैं, सीनियर्स हैं, मेंटोर्स हैं, दे ऑल हैव सम आइडियाज, राइट? But the thing is, they have not executed those ideas. वो कुछ ना कुछ वजह से they are not able to implement those ideas. They are not able to build their startup on the basis of that idea. And the reason for that is they all are lacking some properties, they are lacking some features which should be there in an entrepreneur, and they becomes a entrepreneur. Now, first thing that we need to know, right, before starting a startup, before looking in, for ideas for my startup, I should know whether I am a entrepreneur or I am an entrepreneur. That should be very, very, very clear to me. Now, when a entrepreneur I say, a entrepreneur will always say that it's my idea, right? A entrepreneur will always say the idea, I have an idea with me and I'll keep it with me because it's mine. And you will see a different kind of people, a different species, right? Who will say, will share their ideas with the friends, with the seniors, and they will say, how is this idea? Will this work or not? I want to do this thing. I want to make this thing. I want to develop this thing. I want to get this thing done, right? How does this sound to you? They always share their ideas. They always discuss their ideas, right? They never keep it with them. And the advantage, I'll tell you what is the advantage they do get by sharing their ideas. I will be discussing that those advantages also with you. But this is one difference, one major difference between a entrepreneur and entrepreneur. So if you are keeping your ideas with you as a secret so that no one should able to steal them and develop their own startups or own company on the basis of your idea, if you're thinking in that way, you are a entrepreneur, which you don't have to be. From now onwards, you have to share your ideas with others, with your seniors, with your mentors, with your juniors as well, right? And with your relatives, with your friends, you share your idea, right? And I will show you, I'll tell you the advantages that you would be getting, right? But from now onwards, you have to share the ideas that you are getting, right? And how you will get the ideas that we would be discussing. But you have to share the idea with others to be an entrepreneur. So this is first thing that is the base. Now I tell you what happens, the journey of an entrepreneur and an entrepreneur. So if this is a starting point and this is the goal, where they want to make the product and get that product into the market, right? And this is the goal, right? So entrepreneurs do start their journey. Entrepreneurs do start their journey, but that ends somewhere in between. They are never able to reach the destination. They are never able to hit the targets that they've defined because they keep those ideas with them, and that's why the journey ends in between, right? I hope you agree with this. On the other hand, what happens, the journey of a entrepreneur is never going to be smooth. It is going to be zigzag, it's full of ups and downs, right? Sometimes you will see the execution is being done. Sometimes you will see some shortfalls, right? Things are not going your way, right? This might happen, but you will see that you can witness this thing, they outpasses their goals. Whatever they have thought of, they have gone beyond those things, right? You take the example of startups, right? When Amazon started, it started as a bookseller, and now you can see what Amazon is doing. What it is not selling, right? But they started with selling books, right? You see other things like how Paytm started and what Paytm is right now. So you see those startups, how do they started, what idea came to their mind, how they built this startup, and now what they are. They have gone beyond the targets that they have defined that time, right? So successful entrepreneurs always surpasses their targets. But yes, the journey is going to be full of ups and downs, right? It is not going to be a smooth journey as of entrepreneurs, which is going to end in between, right? So I hope you got the idea, you got the difference between an entrepreneur and an entrepreneur. Now, just tell me quickly how many of you want to be an entrepreneur and how many of you want to be an entrepreneur. Please type E in the chat box if you want to be an entrepreneur and type W if you want to end up as an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, right? Type E if you want to be an entrepreneur. Hurry up, guys, hurry up. Okay. Varun, Ronak, Ashish, Prakash. Oh, yes, yes. Start with E and with W. Somen is saying, I want to start with E and end with W. Why do you want to end with W, Somen? Don't be a entrepreneur, right? You have to be an entrepreneur. You have to get ready for this zigzag journey of the achievements. Okay, so we all have to be an entrepreneur. We all know this thing, right? We have to be an entrepreneur. Now, the next question that comes is, how do I come to know? Is there any mark that exists? How should I know whether I am an entrepreneur? I can be an entrepreneur. Is there any sign which is provided by birth to me, which is a certification that I can be an entrepreneur or not? ठीक है, तो ऐसा कोई मोहर भगवान ने लगा के दिया है या नहीं दिया है कि मुझे पता लग जाए कि मैं एंटरप्रेन्योर बन पाऊंगा या नहीं बन पाऊंगा? ये क्वेश्चन अब हमारे दिमाग में आता है। क्या ऐसा कोई साइन सिंबल हमारी बॉडी पर है जिससे हमें पता लग जाए कि हमें एंटरप्रेन्योर, आई वांट टू बी एन एंटरप्रेन्योर, आई और आई एम अ नॉन एंटरप्रेन्योर, राइट? सो लेट मी टेल यू, There is nothing like this, right? Entrepreneurs are not born. They are not born, they are made. And how they are made, the reason for that is first thing is you see this image. You see this image. And this image, if you'll see, this person is looking into this image and it's like what he see over here is he see a circle. So if it's a perception, how you are looking into an image, how you are looking onto an object defines your perception, what you are actually viewing, what image you are getting actually. Okay? So if this person is looking at this object from this side, he can see that it's a circle. But this is what we do. This is what we do actually. When we read a news article, when we read our textbooks, we grasp the things as and what they are written in, right? What is written in the book. तो जो लिखा है हम उसको वैसे ही समझते हैं. But what we need to do is we need to think beyond things, beyond the text that is written in front of me. Okay? You have to explore things differently. You have to look at things from different angles. And when you look at things from different angles, then only you can form the correct image of those things, right? Whatever is present in front of you, you don't have to trust it from the front view only. Whatever you can see, you don't have to trust it blindly. You have to look at that thing from different angles and you need to develop this habit. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you will not be born as an entrepreneur, but you can be made and you can be a made entrepreneur. What you need to do is you need to develop a habit of exploring things from different angles. Don't trust them just the way they are being presented to you. Don't go by the appearances of the things. Try to explore them from different angles. Then only you will be able to realize the things exactly the correctly. Right? How many of you agree with this? How many of us do this, right? So how many of the audience is computer science students, right? कितने लोग जो जुड़े हुए हैं they are computer science students. Type CS if you are computer science students. Type CS if you are computer science students. Okay. So all of us are like most of us are computer science students, right? Now I need to tell you one thing. Let's play a game. I will be playing a game with one of my friend in the room, right? And we will try to see, right? We will try to figure out what is like how beautiful the computer science can be. Okay, we will discuss. So I'll welcome Ashish. Hi Ashish. Hi, Piyush Sir. Hi, everyone. So you are not visible to my audience. Can you please come here? Okay, so we have Ashish with us. You might have seen Ashish if you are going through those different Python channels and different series that he has launched on data science on our Python channel or GeeksforGeeks main channel as well. You all might know Ashish. He is a very good, he's an expert in data science, right? And I've called him here to play a simple game with us. And with the help of this game, we will see, we will try to figure out how beautiful this computer science field can be, right? So, ready, Ashish? Yes. A small game, small piece of game with you, right? Okay. So, can you come here so that, yeah, okay. So, slightly here so that they can see you as well, and people can see the screen. So what it is, I would be trying to guess your birth date, actually, Ashish. Okay, I'll show you different cards. You have to tell me, right? So I'll show you 5 cards. You need to tell me whether your birth date is present in that card or not. So quite this side so that they can see everyone can see the screen as well, right? So this card contains some numbers. Whether your birth date falls into this uh, card or not. Yes, it is present. It is there? Yes. Okay. So here goes the next card. Meanwhile, what you all have to do is you all also try to guess the birth date of Ashish, right? In this card, can you see this? The date. Birth date, yes.
No.
Okay, let me show you the another card. This one.
Yes.
Is it there?
Yes.
Okay. In this one?
Yes.
Okay. And this one?
Yes again.
Okay. So Ashish, it is 29, I think.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So guys, what I did is, Ashish, come here.
Yes.
Can you tell me how, what idea was there? What was the logic behind it? Or how it was done? I showed you five cards, ask you about, yes, ask you simple questions in yes and no, whether the birth date is present in that particular card or not. How did you do that? How I would have been able to figure it out very easily that it is 29 correctly? Can you tell me any idea?
So basically, I don't have exactly the idea how you have done it, but it is amazing. Like it can be a probabilistic method, like we can go for like odd and even after that dividing the things. But now we have not done something like that. In just five approaches, we are having problems. So I'm not having any idea how we have done it, but
guys
it's amazing.
guys, if you can figure it, I'll try to repeat this thing. I'll show you those cards again, those five cards again, and you need to figure out how this has been done. If you get the idea, please type in the chat box. So Ashish, let our audience see the cards. I am showing you these cards, right? This was the first card, this was the second card, then this was the third card, this was the fourth one, and this was the fifth one. If you can tell me what is happening behind the scenes, how we are able to guess the birth date of anyone by simply asking a yes or no question, right? Whether birth date is present in this that particular card or not. Prakash is saying permutation combination. Prakash, I'm really bad at that. I'm telling you, I'm really bad at permutations combination. ठीक है? Guys, any idea how did we do it, right? एक हिंट मैंने आपको दिया था, if whether you are computer science student or not. So computer science students can easily figure that out. Okay, see, मेरे को कोई जादू दिखाना नहीं है. My motive is not showing you some magic sort of thing, right? What I want to tell you is how simple things can create magics, right? Now, I'll show you something, right? This I have these numbers from 0 to 7. Okay? I have these numbers from 0 to 7. Now what I need to do is I will write the binary representation of these numbers. See, 0 has binary representation. I can write 0 as 0, 0, and 0. Right? Let me change the color. Okay. So 1 can be written as 0, 0, 1, right? And for 2, I can write 0, 1, 0. This is the binary representation of 2. Binary representation of 3, it is going to be 0, 1, 1. Then binary representation of 4 is going to be 1, 0, 0. Tell me if I'm wrong somewhere, right? For binary representation of 5 is going to be 1, 0, 1, and binary representation of 6 is 1, 1, 0, and binary representation of 7 is 1, 1, and 1. Right? So we know this thing, right? This is simply the binary representation of these numbers, where B1 represents the first bit of every number, B2 represents the second bit of every number, and B3 represents the third bit of every number. ठीक है, तो हमने क्या देखा, हमने हर नंबर को रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए तीन बिट्स चाहिए, और मैंने इस जीरो की फर्स्ट बिट जीरो है, सेकंड बिट जीरो है, थर्ड बिट जीरो है. फोर की फर्स्ट बिट जीरो है, सेकंड बिट जीरो है, थर्ड बिट वन. राइट, आई कैन सी दिस. नाउ व्हाट आई एम डूइंग इज आई विल लुक इनटू दिस B1 की. What I will do is B1 में what are the numbers for which the bit is set. So if I'll see, I'll note down all the numbers in which B1 bit is set. तो B1 के लिए देखता हूं, देखिए B1 के लिए if I see, B1 is set in 0, no. It is set in 1? Yes. So I'll write 1 over here. B1 is set in number 1. Yes, so I'll write 1 over here. B1 is set in 2? No. B1 is set in 3? Yes, so I'll write 3 over here. B1 is set in 4? No. It is set in 5? Yes, so I'll write 5 over here. So what I'm doing is I'm making a collection of all the numbers in which B1 bit is set, right? Similarly, B1 is set in 6? No. Is it set in 7? Yes. So I'll write 7 over here. So 1, 3, 5, 7 are the numbers in which B1 bit is set, right? Similarly, if I look for B2 bit, B2 is set in 2, 3, 6 and 7. 2, 3, 6 and 7. And B3 bit is similarly set in C 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll write 4, 5, 6 and 7 over here. Okay. So I've written down these numbers. Right? Now what happens? जब मैंने ये number लिख लिया, तो with the help of these three tables, I can guess any number. ठीक है? If suppose you are thinking of some number 6, so I can guess any number between 0 and 7. So suppose you are thinking of number 6, right? I'll show you this table. Whether this number is present, you will say no. I'll mark it as 0. When you say no, I'll mark it as 0. I'll show you this table. Whether your number is present, you will say yes. I'll mark it as 1. So when you say yes, I mark it as 1. When you say no, I mark it as 0. Right? Similarly, when I show you this table, whether your number is present, you will say yes. So I'll mark it over here. And when we end up, I have this representation with me 110, and I can guess your number, which is 6. Right? You can try for any other number. Suppose it is 5. So if you think of 5 in your mind, I'll show you this table. You will say, yes, it is present. I'll mark it as 1. When I show you this table, you will say, no, it is not there. I'll mark it as 0. And when I show you this table, yes, you will say, yes, it is present, right? I'll mark it as 1. And when we finish up with all three, I have this representation with me, 101, which is 5. So I can guess your number, that your number is going to be 5. I hope you like this. How we have done, how you can create games out of this. See, this is simple binary decimal, decimal to binary conversion. But someone has created a game out of it. Did you like it or not? Like the idea? Got the idea or not? If you like, please type +1 in the chat box. If you like the idea, please type +1 in the chat box. See, I don't want, again, I'm telling you, my intention is not to teach you this thing. I want to tell you something else. I want to tell you something else. That thing is, what I want to tell you is, see, we all have studied, every computer science student has studied this thing, this binary decimal, decimal to binary. But there would have been one person who created this game out of this learning. Everyone is, we all are learning this decimal to binary, binary decimal conversion. But one person learned that, didn't stop there, go beyond thought, beyond all the learnings, and created a game out of this decimal to binary or binary to decimal conversion. Right? Most of us, many of us, like everyone who is a student, everyone knows this thing. This is very simple thing, right? But we all did not created something out of our learnings. That is what we need to understand. We have to develop a habit, whether you are going through any course, whether you are going through any article, right? You have to go beyond whatever you can see in front of you, right? You don't have to just complete your syllabus, score marks, and move to next class. That is what we do. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, whatever you are learning, like if you are spending 5 minutes in reading an article, You should not be just letting like you should not be just getting the gist out of it. You should be exploring why someone has written that article, what could be the other possibilities of for this article as well. So this is the habit that we have to develop, and I will summarize it as explore 360 degree. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you should be an you should be habitual, or you should have a habit of exploring 360 degree. ठीक है, आपको जो दिख रहा है उस पर ट्रस्ट नहीं करना है, उसके पीछे क्या कॉन्सेप्ट है उस पर भी हमें बात करनी है, उस पर भी सोचना है. That will make you an entrepreneur. I'm again telling you, entrepreneurs are not born, they are made, but they are with us, they are playing with us, they are living with us, they are eating with us, but they are doing things very, very slightly differently. Okay, and that is what we need to understand if you want to be an entrepreneur. Second thing that comes is, second thing, very, very important thing is, you need to start searching for ideas. आप इस सेशन को अटेंड कर रहे हो because you are looking for the ideas for your startup, right? एक छोटा सा, I'm giving you some task, right? I'm giving you a small task. Go to 10 people, right? Ten people that you think are intellectually very, very, very strong, right? Go to those 10 people and ask for the ideas. आप जाओ अपने सीनियर्स के पास, मेंटोर्स के पास, और उनसे जाके बोलना, कल आपने ट्राई करके देखना एक बार, ट्राई दिस थिंग, उनसे जाके बोलना कि मेरे को ना अपने स्टार्टअप के लिए कुछ आइडिया चाहिए, शेयर सम आइडिया विद मी. ठीक है? कितने लोगों को लगता है, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू थिंक कि आप 10 लोगों के पास जाओगे तो कितने आइडियाज आपको मिल जाएंगे, कितने आइडियाज आपको मिल जाएंगे व्हेन यू विल गो टू 10 पीपल. एक लिस्ट बनाना, 10 लोगों के पास जाना और उनसे स्टार्टअप आइडियाज मांगना. हाउ मेनी आइडियाज विल यू गेट? कितने आइडियाज आपको लगता है कि मिल जाएंगे जब आप 10 लोगों को अप्रोच करोगे? एटलीस्ट 4 और 5. ओके, 6. ओके, ओके. सोमेन लिस्टिंग 169 आइडियाज. सोमेन बहुत अच्छे सीनियर्स है, मतलब आप, यू माइट be having very good seniors and mentors. Jackson is saying 1 or 2. Okay. I can promise you, right? I can promise you one thing. You won't get any idea. You won't get, the number is going to be zero. And that's for sure. The reason for that is, one thing that you'll get, अगर मेरे पास आइडिया होता तो मैं स्टार्टअप कर रहा होता, राइट? What idea I would be sharing with you? ठीक है? तो this is the response that you would be getting. Exactly, you are going to get zero ideas. The reason for that is, if they would have that idea, they would have started working on it. They don't have it, that's why they are still stuck. They are not working on it, right? So, अब एक और काम करना, दूसरी चीज करना, आइडिया पूछने मत जाना उनके पास और उनसे पूछना क्या, उनसे पूछना कि टेल मी 10 प्रॉब्लम्स, टेल मी सम प्रॉब्लम्स दैट यू हैव. और मैं आपसे प्रॉमिस करता हूं, आप उनसे बात करोगे ना तो इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स, एक ही इंसान आपको 1000 प्रॉब्लम गिना देगा अपनी जिंदगी के साथ. कोई बोलेगा कि यार कैब वाले जो हैं वो ये दिक्कत करते हैं, मैं ऑफिस जाता हूँ मेरे को ये दिक्कत होती है, कैब्स आर डूइंग दिस थिंग, राइट? कैब वाले ज्यादा चार्ज करते हैं, इतना हाई चार्ज करते हैं. कोई बोलेगा यार जोमेटो से ऑर्डर करता हूँ, स्विगी से ऑर्डर करता हूँ तो खाना ठंडा मिल जाता है. ठीक है? इफ यू गो टू 10 पीपल, दे कैन गिव यू 10,000 प्रॉब्लम्स, आई कैन टेल. किसी से आइडिया मांगने में नहीं जाना है आपको, क्या मांगने जाना है? टेल मी द प्रॉब्लम्स दैट यू फेस इन योर डे टू डे लाइफ. सुबह से शाम तक आपको कौन कौन सी प्रॉब्लम्स आप फेस करते हो, कौन सी चीजें हैं जो आपको लगता है कि कोई सॉल्व कर सकता है, कोई चीज है जो आपको आपको कन्वीनियंट नहीं लगती. यू आस्क फॉर the problems with those people and you will get those problems. Now I'll tell you one simple problem, right, that I faced, and I didn't create the startup on it, but yes, I can tell you that is a startup idea. So abhi kya hua, what happens, I went to a nearby food stall, right? So it was like fast food stall over there. So I asked for the menu card. He says कि यार सर जितने भी कार्ड थे मेन्यू कार्ड जितने मैंने प्रिंट कराए थे जितना the number of print the cards that I got printed, everyone used to take them away, and now I don't have any. So I pasted this uh, menu card over here. Please have a look over here. Look into it. So I have to get out up from a table. I have to scan that. I have to see into that menu card which is being pasted over there. टुवर्ड्स द रिसेप्शन राइट तो मेरे को उसके पास जाके करना पड़ा वो स्कैन करना पड़ा वहां से देखना पड़ा पूरा उसको फिर वहां से ऑर्डर्स को देना पड़ा तो a small idea came to my mind is why people are carrying your those pamphlets the menu cards with them why don't you create a digital menu for them so what I did is I helped that vendor the fast food stall with the help of what I did is I took a snapshot created a Q like, and deployed it on GitHub, right? And created a QR code out for that URL and pasted that QR code onto this. Now I asked him, क्या करना है आपको? Simply ask people who are coming to you to scan that QR code and they will be having your menu with them. You don't have to get them printed. ठीक है? And it was like 5 minute solution for me. व्हाट आई डिड इज मैंने उसको बोला कि आप अपना ये दो मेरे को मेन्यू व्हाट आई डू मैंने एक फोटो खींचा गिटअप पे अपलोड किया और जो यूआरएल था उस यूआरएल को शेयर कर दिया एक क्यूआर कोड में बनाकर क्यूआर कोड वहां पर पेस्ट कर दिया एंड यू विल सी that QR code is now the digital menu for the small food vendor जो कि एक सर्विस होस्टिंग सर्विस अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता ठीक है मंथली पे नहीं कर सकता ठीक बट we solve like I solve certain problem you don't have to get those menus printed ठीक है उसको मेन्यू प्रिंट नहीं कराने और लोग लेकर के नहीं जाने वाले because when it comes to their phone they can take the screenshot or they can save it forever right they don't have to carry that again and again and another thing is he can update his menu on the fly, right? You don't have to tell them that this is the old menu and this is the new menu which is printed now. So he has to just change the image and the image has to be replaced over there. And his menu will be updated. So this is the digital menu that you can get. Okay. So what you need to do is so this is one simple problem that I find out in my nearby. I try to solve it and solve it, right? So if you are a CS student, technical guy, try to figure out the problems nearby. ठीक है बहुत problems आपको मिलेंगी and try to solve them. Now if you will see if I charge him 10 rupees per month or 100 rupees per month with a small amount, right? I'll get 1200 rupees per month. ठीक है उससे ज्यादा के टेम्पलेट्स के बिक रहे हैं 1200 रुपीज पर ईयर फ्रॉम अ सिंगल वेंडर राइट एंड ऐसे हजार वेंडर्स मेरी सिटी में हैं ठीक है एटलीस्ट 500 600 वेंडर्स आते हैं इफ आई आस्क एवरीवन कि आप अपने डिजिटल मेन्यूज बनवा लीजिए ठीक है एंड यू कैन हैव योर डिजिटल मेन्यूज एट अ कॉस्ट ऑफ 100 rupees per month 100 rupees per month is not a very big cost for them but I have my startup ready which is earning me income and I don't have to do anything right so this is a small idea which I solved the problem with, right? You can also look for like why I'm giving you example. You should know that yes, this type of things are there in the market. You can help people by solving their problems, right? And this is what you need to do. Don't search for ideas. You have to search for problems, right? So this is our second point, which says you have to explore problems rather than exploring ideas. ठीक है इतना समझ में आ गया दो स्टेप्स क्लियर हैं आपको प्लीज टाइप 3 in the chat box so that I should move to third point please type 3 in the chat box so that I should move to third point is very important I can tell you okay Now we need to understand this thing, right? What is the third point? So अभी हमें समझ में आया कि हमें if we want to be an entrepreneur, we have to think, we have to see the things in our surroundings from different angles. Secondly, we have to explore problems. We don't have to explore ideas. We don't have to search for ideas, right? Third thing that comes is you need to share your solutions when you have seen the problems, right? तो अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम मेरे को समझ में आ गया तो मैं क्या करूं उसके बाद जितने भी सॉल्यूशन मेरे दिमाग में आते हैं उनके शेयर करता हूं अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ, अपने दोस्तों के साथ, अपने टीममेट्स के साथ. आई विल शेयर दो सॉल्यूशन. डोंट हेजिटेट टू शेयर योर सॉल्यूशंस. तो अगर आपको प्रॉब्लम समझ में आ गई है कि यार ये प्रॉब्लम है, उसका कोई सॉल्यूशन आपके दिमाग में आ रहा है, इफ यू आर गेटिंग सर्टेन सॉल्यूशन फॉर इट, ठीक है, देयर यू माइट गेट वन और टू सॉल्यूशंस विद यू. शेयर दो सॉल्यूशंस विद द पीपल, राइट, विद द एक्सपर्ट्स, those whom you think are technically more expert than you. Share your solutions with them. ठीक है, और जब हम अपने सॉल्यूशन शेयर करते हैं ना, तब बनता है हमारे पास एक आइडिया. Then we land up to an idea. And that solution might be like, because my solution might not be the perfect one, but when I'm discussing that solution with someone, तब क्या बनेगा, तब एक कुछ inputs कहीं से मिलेंगे, कुछ inputs कहीं से मिलेंगे. Then I can lead to a concrete idea which would be solving that problem, right? So what I need to do is I need to share my solutions with the people. Okay. And when I share my solutions with the people, I get a concrete idea and which can lead to the foundation of things, right? Which can lead to the foundation of my startup. ठीक है, जब ये आइडिया मिलता है हमारे पास, अब आइडिया मेरे पास है, ठीक है, तो क्या करना है? What I need to do is after sharing solutions, I get the idea, and when I have the idea, I need to implement my idea. ठीक है. Now implementation से मैंने आपको अभी examples दिए थे. I gave you certain examples, right? The first example was of Amazon. Amazon ने e-commerce बनाने का सोचा होगा. They might have thought of developing an e-commerce, but they started with simply one type of गुड्स दैट वर बुक्स, राइट. तो उन्होंने सारी चीजें नहीं बेची पहले, उन्होंने बुक्स को बेचा. ठीक है, उसके बाद स्केल किया, दे मूव टू डिफरेंट सेगमेंट्स, राइट. Similarly, if you look to Paytm, they started with a mall. They started with e-commerce only with a different experience. If you all know, I don't know how many of you know this thing. Paytm started with an e-commerce experience with bargaining thing, right? So it was the first website which gave you the bargaining facility. The things that you do in the local market, you bargain with the vendors, you were allowed to do that on Paytm as well. When you are ordering something, you can directly chat with the vendor and ask for the discounts, right? This was the facility when Paytm was first started its offerings, right? So what you need to do is you have to start with small thing, and with this small thing is actually called a minimum viable product. So when you have an idea with you, you don't have to execute, you don't have to wait till the completion of the whole project, right? You just start deploying things in the market with your MVP, which is called minimum viable product. तो आपके पास अगर आइडिया है तो कम से कम एक छोटी सी फंक्शनैलिटी के साथ उसको लाइव करो एंड स्टार्ट एंजॉयिंग दैट. ठीक है, डोंट वेट टिल द कंप्लीशन ऑफ द होल प्रोजेक्ट. You should take your things into the market as early as possible with the minimum viable is very important, right? It should not be viable means it should have certain use case. It should be solving certain purpose. Okay, and that is very very important. So what we have seen is we have to follow these four steps, right? We have seen this thing. We have to explore 360-degree. We have to explore problems rather than ideas. We have to share the solutions with the people. And then we need to implement the MVP, ठीक है? If you are following these four steps, right? If you're following these four steps, definitely, definitely, इनको मैं क्या बोलता हूँ? What do I call them? I call them four easy steps. So मैं easy, you can read it like easy. These are four easy steps. EESI. ठीक है? Four easy steps to be an entrepreneur. ठीक है? What you need to do is you need to explore 360 degree, explore problems, then you need to share your solutions and implement an MVP. ये चार स्टेप्स अगर आप फॉलो करते हो, चार आसान तरीके आप फॉलो करते हो, यू विल बी एन एंटरप्रेन्योर. यू वोंट हैव टू लुक फॉर दैट स्टैम्प ऑन यू कि भगवान ने मेरे को एंटरप्रेन्योर बना के भेजा है या नहीं भेजा. यू विल बी made entrepreneur. No one is born as an entrepreneur. They are made, and you can be one of them if you follow these simple steps. Right? So, this was all from my side. If you have certain questions, I would love to answer them. You can ask them in the chat. If you have any queries, any questions, I would love to answer them. But remember the four easy steps to be an entrepreneur. If you're a college student, try to follow them from today only, right? And don't stuck as an entrepreneur. Always be an entrepreneur. That is going to help you. Questions, queries, any doubts, any queries from your side, I would love to answer them. I hope the idea is clear. Okay, and I even hope that you like the concept that I shared, how you can use the binary to decimal, decimal to binary conversion to create magics, right? And if you want to learn more of these kind of things, I have a series. I'm not promoting myself, right? Again, telling you it would help you a lot. I have a series on Geeks for Geeks practice YouTube channel that is for improve problem solving skills with Piyush Khandelwal. So that is a complete series where you will see these type of problems, you will see these types of magics that you can create with computer science. It is a complete series over there. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you very much. Again, you can follow that series where you will learn, you will be figuring out how you can be a good problem solver. Uh, लाइक जनरली क्या होता है ना, वी डू फेस सम प्रॉब्लम. एक क्वेश्चन हमारे दिमाग में हमेशा आता है, यार इस बंदे के दिमाग में, मेरे फ्रेंड के दिमाग में वो आंसर कैसे आ गया, वो सॉल्यूशन कैसे आ गया, मेरे दिमाग में वो क्यों नहीं आया. राइट? इफ यू हैव दोस क्वेरीज इन योर माइंड ना, आपके साथ भी ऐसा होता है ना, तो एक बार उस सीरीज को फॉलो करके जरूर देखना. गीक्स फॉर गीक्स प्रैक्टिस यूट्यूब चैनल. ठीक है? यू आर हेयर एट गीक्स फॉर गीक्स मेन चैनल. We have a child channel called Geeks for Geeks Practice, and we have a playlist over there which is like improve problem solving skills with Piyush Khandelwal, right? Go through those series, and you after that you won't be saying, won't get a chance to say, यार मेरे दोस्त के दिमाग में वो आइडिया कैसे आ गया, मेरे दिमाग में क्यों नहीं आया? Because ideas will start coming to your mind after attending the session. Okay, so we have one question, right? Mimicking an existing with novel approach is better, or starting new solution is better? ठीक है? So let me tell you, very good question it is, right? Very good question it is. I can tell you one thing. See, Amazon was there, but Flipkart has been developed. तो फ्लिपकार्ट ये नहीं बोलता कि अगर Amazon वहां पर है तो मैं ई कॉमर्स सिस्टम क्यों बनाऊं. अगर ऐसा सोचता तो फ्लिपकार्ट तो कभी एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता. और आप मुझे बताइए, फ्लिपकार्ट इज सक्सेसफुल और नॉट? टेल मी वन थिंग, फ्लिपकार्ट इज सक्सेसफुल और नॉट? अगर मैं Amazon से अभी मैं Amazon से कंपेयर नहीं करता, मैं फ्लिपकार्ट की बात करता हूँ, इंडिपेंडेंट फ्लिपकार्ट की. इज इट सक्सेसफुल और नॉट? It is, right? When Walmart is ready to purchase it, that means something is there in Flipkart. Some potential is there. ठीक है? So you always, जैसा अभी मैं पढ़ रहा था एक आर्टिकल, तो जब सर्च इंजन बना तो गूगल सर्च इंजन जब बना उससे पहले भी सर्च इंजन थे मार्केट में अवेलेबल, राइट, उसके बाद भी आए हैं। इट इज नेवर लाइक कि अगर किसी ने कोई चीज बना दी, समवन हैज डेवलप्ड समथिंग एंड वी कैन नॉट डू दैट थिंग, वी हैव टू ब्रिंग समथिंग न्यू। You can present the same thing in a better way. If it does not solve the complete purpose, if it has certain issues, it had certain loopholes, you can bring a new solution based on that solution which fixed its loopholes. That will help you. So, main there's one question, right? I mean, your real world problems are very different. From instance, printing QR is great, but in real world, it involves too many steps, right? And dependent on cognition and internet. What I think startups should be formed around people and audience involved. You can easily print on banner you are using. So मैं कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा थोड़ा सा, लेकिन what I'm getting is कि you you are looking for certain funds, right? When the startup ideas are coming to your mind, you need funds, you need references, right? You need people who can help you over there. So that is what summary you are trying to ask, right? Okay. Right? So these all things are very easy today, right? In colleges, if you are in colleges, there are incubation centers which can help you with the normal funds that are required. So if you are in some college, look for that incubation center. And if it incubation center is not there in your college, right, it might be there in some nearby college as well. So you can approach those nearby colleges which conduct some hackathons or events on monthly or like quarterly basis. You can participate in those events and get your ideas pitched into those colleges where they have those incubation centers, IEDC cells. Today, like the government is supporting a lot. Okay, so you can actually look for the colleges which have those IEDC cells and incubation centers, E cells are there. Okay. Other doubts if you have anyone? You don't have to go to shopkeeper, right? You don't have to go. I'm not telling you to go to shopkeepers. You have to look to your surrounding. आप अपने कॉलेज में देखो क्या एवरीथिंग इज ऑटोमेटेड, क्या कुछ इंप्रूवमेंट किया सकता है, टाइम टेबल मैनेजमेंट को इंप्रूव किया जा सकता है, एग्जामिनेशन सिस्टम को बेटर किया जा सकता है, कैन समथिंग बी डन ओवर देयर, ठीक है? लुक इनटू योर क्लास, जब आप क्लास अटेंड करते हो एवरीथिंग, क्या अटेंडेंस को मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ, ठीक है, अटेंडेंस ऑटोमेशन कुछ कर सकता हूँ, ठीक है? थिंक ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम्स in your surroundings. I'm not saying you have to go to shopkeepers. So when you are going to purchase something from some shop or some vendor, at that time you are facing some, you see that this is some problem with them which can be solved very easily. Try to cater those problems, right? Does all startup requires a great team or an individual idea can be driven all alone? Okay, team is very, very, very important. But generally, what happens when you have a team deciding, right? See, there are two things, right? I am the one who is going to lead the team, then it is going to be a success for me. But if I'm depending on the team to conclude, to come to some conclusion, then definitely it is going to delay the decision taking, right? And again, it might not be this like it might not be the thing that that you were expecting. Okay, so if it is your idea, you have come up with to try to build a good team which work under you, right? But if you are forming a team members with and including their ideas, everyone's ideas into it, right? Definitely, you are not going to succeed in that case. Matlab, there are chances that you might not succeed. Praveen is saying your inputs on patenting idea, thought, solution first, or just keep building the solution or MVP. And then if someone complete the idea and details, we have to go through a long route. See, if you think about patents, okay, patents and copyrights are different things, right? Like first thing is whether your idea is worth it or not. You need to check it. If you're spending a lot of time and money in getting your ideas patented, right? So what happens after that if that idea fails? Then what happens? Then what will happen? Right? Who will bear the cost? And that will lead to much more failure rather than what happens when you have developed something, you have taken that thing into the market, you are getting good user responses. See, you are always few meters ahead of your competitors. Those who are copying the current idea, you have thought of something because you have this is your MVP, but your ultimate goal is something else, right? So when they are copying your MVPs, at that time you are busy in planning for the new features into it, right? So they will always be behind you, and you can at like when you are getting good responses at that time, you can go for those patenting things and those copyright things at that time. But I personally believe first you should take the user feedback because what could be good according to you might not be good as per the real time, the real world users, right? Okay, so that's it, right? I think still, if you have certain questions, you can put them in comment box. I'll try to respond them as quickly as possible, right? And I hope that's all for today. You guys enjoyed the session. If you all guys enjoyed the session, please type +1 in the chat box so that we can wrap this up very easily. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's all for today. Let's close the stream right now. Okay, and if you still have certain queries, you can let me know on the comment box. I'll respond them then and there.